Hi guys, welcome to Rugby Digest. This is the follow-up to the opening weekend of the Rugby World Cup. I'm Chelsea and with me I have Zubair and Jacob.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey guys.
So, we can all say that this weekend was, I would say, tension-filled. There was a lot of excitement going in and I think we've come out feeling slightly jaded.
I'd say we're feeling okay. It could have been worse. I mean, Rassi called exactly what was going to happen. And I think everybody kind of saw that coming to a certain degree, especially as the game wore on. Otherwise, the other results, there were also, Argentina also got screwed over by the refs.
Yep.
There were a lot of poor officiating, which World Rugby has come out and now kind of slap on the wrist to all the referees going forward.
They say that, but then Fiji today.
Yeah, but still, not really. Fiji more so in the first game. Today they just really sucked against Uruguay. So
Yeah, but it almost feels a little too late. The damage is done.
I agree, especially in the two pools with the Argentina, which was a vital game, Argentina versus France, where I've never seen that. Was up there with the Bryce Lydens against Australia in 2011, where every single call went against Argentina.
And they
And
still
there
should have
was
won.
some of the most blatant offsides. Like he didn't blow the offside line at all in that game, which is just atrocious. The one at the end,
What
in the
annoys
80th
me-
minute, dude, that Pickamal's
dude.
intercept where he was 5 meters offside. He was basically standing in their back line. He passed it to him and he was just like, play on, intercept, cool. The
What
last
I don't
play of the game,
understand
basically.
is the inconsistency in touch judges getting involved and
Yes.
the TMO.
They're not
You know
involved
what I
at
mean?
all.
Dude, that's
the
no,
annoying
but
part.
dude,
Touch
against New
judges.
Zealand, how did the touch judge call that one offside for us?
It was
Or
offside.
it was
but
offside, but you know what
he
I mean?
missed the knock on, like
Exactly.
they
That knock on
phased
right
before.
off of the line out. How
Exactly.
that was disgusting.
It's yeah.
Or like, how did they
It
miss
is-
the Kieran Reid on Peter Steff out the lineup
Yeah.
as well? It was right in
Because
front of
they're
the.
not even
What are you
looking at
guys
those
looking
things.
at?
Who knows what these guys are looking at? I don't even think. I don't want to say it, but it seems like some of these games are predetermined. That Argentina versus France game, watching it on Saturday morning, I was just like, there is no ways they're gonna allow Argentina to win this game.
Look, to
that's
be
just how
fair,
it felt.
I think maybe in watching the game, I feel exactly what you mean, but Argentina still had that kick at the end of the game, 2 minutes to
They
go.
should have had 2 more penalties after that,
Dude,
with a minute to play.
Regardless,
so,
you're at the World Cup.
true. If he kicks it over,
You kick that
Boffelli,
over, you
and
win.
they win. But anyway, shall we get to the Buck game, because that was obviously the big one. Again, Roman, who was it? Jerome Garces, absolute dickhead. Destroyed the Springboks, didn't give them any real opportunities.
Just no consistency was the main issue.
Every single 50-50 call going against the Bucks.
I'm reading an article right now on stuff, and it literally says, as expected, Garces was shocking, and as part of the current breed of referees we refer to as an everything goes referee. And their thinking is that the lower the penalty count, the better the spectacle. But they're wrong. And
It's absolute bullshit.
What do you
they
mean the lower the
absolutely-
penalty count?
They ruined the game.
Just below the laws of the game. The
Exactly.
scrums were absolute farce. Like, we
How
had
did-
dominance throughout the
How
whole
did
game.
they ask? They just complained once. And then he stood on the side where Joe Moody was and just gave free kick. And then the next one, penalty immediately.
Joe
and
Moody
then for
went
us,
down literally every single
If-
scrum in the first half.
if
Like,
a
it was
referee-
disgusting.
elbow on the
If a
ground at
referee
every
can
scrum,
be
no penalties.
swayed by a particular player on the field and thereby can blow in favor of a certain team the whole time, that tells me that referee is not strong enough to even be reffing in the first place. If you're
But
gonna
we know this
behave-
about them.
Yeah.
if you're
Like,
gonna
French
behave
we
like
said this
that-
before the
Particular.
game.
but it's despicable. Then, as a Rugby World Cup committee, sitting there even making selections on these refs,
That's why I feel
these
it's all
guys should be
rigged, man.
blackballed completely. And that's
Like,
what I
how does he
walked out
get
of
that
this
game?
weekend feeling.
Out of all of the games.
How does Jerome Garces get that game
The
when he has a
biggest
4-0 like
Record for the All Blacks.
Exactly.
in
Like,
favour of
surely
the
you
All
would
Blacks.
just want it to be a referee where there are no questions, even going into the
Could
game.
have just
There's
been
no
a
pressure on him.
random referee.
I don't think anybody would have been upset if it was Nigel Owens
No.
or anyone
Anybody else,
But like,
basically.
look at the
Maybe
whole,
Roman
like you said, the whole refereeing panel, all of those games in the morning. Ben O'Keefe, he's an absolute joke. The fact that he's even at the World Cup, I watched all of the Super Rugby games. He is one of the worst referees in the world.
Yet
So Angus Gardner,
he made
he's
it.
a
Angus
fucking
Gardner
clown.
is-
Like, that was, again, he's shown in previous games, in previous big games, where the moment becomes too big for him and he loses complete control. The same with Jerome Garces, the same with Roman Poit. But the funny thing is, those are the guys who are the big guys. Like, they are given the big games. Even
Often.
Nigel Owens in that first game, he talks a lot and he misses a lot. It annoys me because
That
they're missing the
shoulder
most
charge.
blatant things.
That shoulder charge, granted it was against Japan.
But you
And
see the two sides to the coin of every ref, right? So you either have a guy who's going to blow up everything,
Which
and-
I'm okay with. It
As
sets
long
the
as it's
standard
consistent.
early. You
As
know,
long
like,
as it's
there used to be a
consistent.
time where refs would blow
He
up.
was consistently cuck. Garces was consistently
No,
cuck
he
from
wasn't.
South
He
African
was
point of
wasn't.
view.
inconsistent.
Oh well.
There was a
That
time when
was-
the refs would blow the game. So they would blow the first 10 or 20
It's
minutes
always
would be
a stop,
lots
stop,
of
stop,
penalties.
stop.
I am okay
Oh.
with that. You set the tone of the game. You set the boundaries of the game in the first 20 minutes where offsides, scrum penalties, I would rather see them in the first 20 minutes so the players know these are the guidelines now. By not blowing Joe Moody up for the first 3 scrums of the game where his elbow was clearly on the ground, and then you want to blow the Springboks up for probably a similar offence one time,
Immediately.
it annoys me, which is like later in the game as well, where you clearly have not set the precedent, so anything goes at this stage. There was another penalty where Tuunga Fasi came on and he scrummed clearly in on the angle. Like,
Immediately.
we
I think it
called
was
it
his
before
first
the
scrum.
game and we're just like, how the fuck are you missing that, mate? Because there was not one scrum in that whole game where New Zealand had ascendancy until that scrum where he scrummed in on the angle. And they won a penalty. He just gave them a penalty. It's a fucking farce, man. But that being said, he was bad. I mean, Mapimpi should have gotten a yellow as well for that. So
He should have. That
and
was a professional
he
foul.
missed maybe a couple of things to the box as well, but it's those game-defining moments where he just screwed the box in essence. We didn't
He
have a
did,
chance.
And look, as I know that there's a lot of hate towards the referee, but there are definitely positives to take from that game. I feel, for one, that even with all the calls, we had chances. We could have been in the game if we took our chances. And at the same
says I would be
at the
surprised
same
if he
time-
refs another game this World Cup.
You'll ref,
I mean,
you'll
he
ref, I
come on,
promise you,
Charles.
you'll ref a
You'll
semi-final.
probably
He'll
He
ref.
will
That's a
definitely ref a
Definitely.
semi-final,
That's a
if
linesman.
not a final. I'm calling it now. He
But
will
anyway,
definitely ref
at-
a semi-final.
At the same time, with all the calls going against us, we had chances, and
Yes,
we
true.
cost ourselves at the end of the day. That 5 minutes of just dropping every eyeball cost us
Oh.
that game. Everybody knows that. Like, you
And
can't give New Zealand a 2-try lead and expect, you know what I mean?
And just willy-nilly kicking the ball, like
Yeah, we played it really
Oh.
bad.
it was hurtful.
You know what,
Well, the
like you
the
said,
Peter Steph's try, I'm happy with that. I mean, that big man lumbering over the line was
I called it
quite
though.
sexy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Fair enough.
like you
Oh,
said, we didn't play well, but we were still in the game. In years gone by, we would have probably taken 50.
I think
17-3
Nick
down.
Mallet even said it after the game. He was like, at halftime, we could have come out and just lost that game 30-43.
Exactly.
You know?
And when we were
At least we won the
sitting
second
at
half.
halftime, kind of contemplating where this game goes, what was the score? 23 at halftime? 17?
No,
17.
17.
We were saying, I mean, all we wanted to see was some fight. That first 20 minutes, or the whole of the second half, the Springboks kind of dominated, except for maybe that 10-minute period where they scored points and we dropped a lot of eyeballs and we kicked shit and we didn't look like holding
And
the ball.
even with those chances, our defense looked so poor as well when they scored. I was so annoyed.
What was disappointing was, I mean, the guys who we kind of had to bank on was, in our backline specifically, was Faf, Pollard and Willie all had a shocker on the same day. Faf was absolutely atrocious.
Pollard was okay. I mean, he
Pollard
dropped
was
that
piss
one.
poor. He dropped
He
a
dropped
few
that-
high balls.
And he missed that kick.
His
when it
kicking was
3-0.
shit. He missed. I mean, he just didn't have a good game.
Let's put it down
Willie
to
was
a
just
very high
fucking
tension game.
putrid.
And
Willie is
The
Willie.
Villy-Faf combination, never again. Those are two people that should not be allowed
They
to
are
make decisions
going
on
to.
the
They make
field.
all the decisions for us.
Moving forward, I think everyone can agree that there needs to be a change there somehow. So either we're going to go for some experience, put a France stay in at 15, or just start that boy Herschel. What I don't understand is
That's
how
true, I
Rassi
mean-
only brought him on with 9 minutes to
Yeah,
play.
that
Dude,
made no
Faf
sense.
should have gone off
had an
after the first
absolute
10 minutes of the
shocker.
second half, if not at halftime.
Yeah, the absolute
But
shocker.
it seems that if there was a strategy, Faf blew it out the window. And in moments of panic, you just kick the ball.
In
And
that
that left
5-minute
everyone
period, we
else on the
panicked. We had no
field.
game plan.
Left everyone else
Pollard,
on the field going, what the fuck? Like, what now? It's almost like they weren't agile enough to pivot in the moment. So that tells me that there wasn't a strong enough strategy at play that, like, if A happens, then B's going to happen, then C's going to happen. But
I'm gonna say, like, there was nothing wrong with the tactics that we played.
we played well.
But for a few missed tackles and
But
5
for a
minutes
few
of poor play,
individuals-
we probably win that game.
Well,
or it would be a
In the
lot
first
tighter.
half, there were 20 missed tackles, which I think cost us.
Probably
Was
more
that-
than
no,
20
it
missed
was-
tackle.
then, I mean, we saw the conditions on the day. Those
Conditions
guys,
were fine.
They
They
were
were-
sweating.
Yeah, but that's what
Buckets.
we called this
We did
before the
call
game,
it
so it's
so,
not
the
that
high
we
Those-
can't hold
humidity,
it.
high humidity.
It's the same for
That
both
ball would have
teams.
been
Exact
slippery.
same.
Not an issue.
No,
I don't see that
wouldn't
as
have been
an
an issue
excuse at
all.
all.
Okay, I'm just
We
looking
just
at
executed badly for
side.
5 minutes,
Yeah,
and that
that
cost us the
was
game.
So,
Again, let's go back to Willie. Because we were calling this in every fucking podcast, and here we go. Like,
in the biggest game of the
he's
World Cup
just
so
not-
far, man.
going to that break from Colby when I mean
You're a
you're a fucking professional rugby player,
mate.
and you passing it forward to a guy's feet right next to you under no pressure.
And he still takes
There
it and
is
almost
nobody
scores,
even
like-
trying to tackle Willie at this stage. He just throws it forward onto the ground at Colby's feet and expects him to score from
But
there.
that's-
If he
Were
passes
any
just
of
a
us
normal
actually surprised
simple
by that?
pass,
But what I always find so shocking about him is he makes these gallant moves in order to enable play, like passing a ball to another player, but he is never fair in how he passes the ball. He always just like flips it over his shoulder
I
with
know
no
he has
stick
no
fork.
technique.
I
Like
know.
it just blows my mind that
Look,
he is
guys,
still a
I
pro
think
at this level.
even
Like, if he
Faf,
was
like I
delivering
know,
babies,
I
it'd
know
be
we're
dropped on
talking
the
about
floor.
Willie in that situation, and granted he should have done well. To be honest, when that break was on, I didn't even see Willie.
That's
Dude,
true.
TJ, what's it?
Aaron
Aaron
Smith, that's
dude,
straight
makes
out to
that
the wing
pass
and he scores.
immediately. Scores, he's in.
Immediately.
Potentially under the posts,
Agreed.
whatever, dude. All day.
Agreed.
Dude,
Faf should play that. But
any
even
top
Faf's
scrum.
pass was forward. Like,
Yeah, dude,
how
like-
the fuck? You a left-handed passer passing it right. Like,
Also,
Makes no
it
sense,
is
mate.
shocking. Both Billy and Faf are both left-handed. They can't pass to their right. It just defies belief, man.
It actually makes
And at the
zero
crucial
sense.
point where the score was 10-17, we could have been level with them. We scored that try.
But that's panic play.
It is
because when
defies
you play,
belief,
when you
man.
play counter-intuitive to what your strength is, that's panic. I've done it.
It's simple
I've played
basics of the
games.
game. We are not talking about a schoolboy playing
that's
under
what happened.
15
Exactly.
C's here. You're
We're
talking about
talking-
somebody playing at the Springbok level.
At the
a
highest level,
World
playing
Cup,
against
mate.
the best
And you
team
can't
in the
pass
world,
a ball.
potentially.
None of them were under pressure. There were no guys. It's not like it was in the tackle, an offload, or there was somebody about to tackle them.
There was no
They were
teamwork.
passing it while running next to each other. It's
Just a basic pass. We're not asking for much.
so what are we gonna take out of it? Who are standout players from the
Peter
Springbok
Steph.
side?
Peter Stiff, without a doubt. That beast. Oh, he was stunning.
Again,
Dude,
also-
Kitty.
Kitty,
He had a
Oh.
stormer.
Workhorse
Dude,
lad,
Yeah,
absolute ripper.
he was.
he did. And he was on for like
unstoppable.
60,
played
65
like-
minutes, I think.
Almost played 70 minutes. Trevor getting injured
It
was
was
a massive bust.
I was
heartbreak.
heartbroken for us and him.
But the man's face on the sidelines.
Yeah, he was.
And just
was-
getting a little
Yes.
tap on the head from Kitty going, I understand, bro, like you're out.
What I found disappointing and where we probably should have won that game, and why we probably didn't win it was, like we've discussed in previous pods, is that in order to beat the All Blacks, you have to dominate up front. We didn't dominate like we should have. I mean, of
We
course,
had that period at the start of the
Yes.
game where we did, and we didn't convert it
but
into
not
points.
dominance. So like set piece dominance. When I'm saying winning those penalties at scrums, we should have won.
We should
a
have.
few
On
more.
another day, we win
Another
a
day
few.
AF does, but it still wasn't dominant. We weren't, completely dominant.
But
Our
you-
maul
you
wasn't
are-
really
you are
working.
right. Because if we had been
Um,
dominant, then maybe the calls would have gone our way because it would have been so blatantly
We
obvious.
were pretty dominant. It's not like New
In
Zealand
general, we
dominated
were.
at all in any facet of
they
the
were
game.
just New Zealand. They're the most clinical team.
Yeah.
You know them.
They got their 2 chances and they scored both of them. It's not like they looked like scoring at all for the rest of the game outside of that 5-minute period.
I also found that maybe it was just me, but I felt I was expecting more clinical, straighter lines to be run, like tackles, more clear interceptions, and there wasn't that much going on. It was quite a scrappy game.
But between these two sides, both defenses are good. If the penalty count was closer, let's say 6-all,
5-5.
5-5, 7-all, the game would have been a completely different scoreline. I think it would have been closer to a draw at that point. Because
If
those
not, we are
penalties, it just kills momentum, gives you
Although
territory.
we did have a sneaky little drop kick. I just want to say,
Yes, which
I'm
I
not
enjoyed.
unimpressed
It was
to
a
see
great
that back in
drop
the
kick.
game. And if this is
It
what
was,
we've been planning on the sides, I'm
I
quite
think
happy to see
every
more of
team
it.
does it.
What
at
I
the
did
World
also
Cup.
like was that when we did get our forwards going, especially in the second half, and we did keep ball in hand, we got go forward. Every forward got over the gain line. Like, Itzebeth was an absolute animal.
Dude,
like,
Itzebeth.
every time there was
Dude,
one stage where he took
standing
like 5
still.
oaks
Plus,
to
like,
tackle him.
often he wouldn't even get a run in, and still
Peter
just
Steph
like
was brushing off Ardy. Like, there were a few oaks who brushed off Ardy. Dwayne just ran straight over him for that break. For the
Was
break where
sensational.
Faf fucked up
Yeah.
the pass. Dwayne literally ran straight over Ardy. Peter Steph done the same. Like, our forwards were getting go forward every time.
It's a
They,
bit
they
ran
weren't
straight over
stopping us
Sam Cane.
on the gain line at all. So that was a positive.
I found we spent a lot of time in New Zealand's half, and I'm very, very happy for that.
Yeah, we had like 60% territory.
Exactly, and
yeah.
the territory game spoke volumes. So even if the scoreboard didn't, the territory game for me
Look,
was
if
on
we
point.
get penalties where we kick more goals, definitely.
Yeah.
Pollard, we saw from the first minute he kicked one from in the first 10 minutes he kicked one from
That miss was also
50.
a game changer.
Yeah. If he nails that kick and we go 6-0 up,
Yeah.
they don't
5
go to the
minutes
other
later,
end
they're like
3-0 and
17-3.
then 17.
But I do-
But the pass from Faf, that basically killed the whole momentum.
But
Where
that's the
Mapimpi made
opportunity. So
the...
it's a miss of the opportunity that when there is the chance to score a try, that is when that clinical comes in. There should be no doubt as to what the next move is, and I felt that that's where it was that the panic set in.
How the fuck can a scrum half not pass the fucking ball? I mean, his passing in general was putrid.
Atrocious.
It was absolutely... It wasn't up to international standard.
Nick Phillips
And-
quality.
Possibly worse. Well, on that level where passes are just going behind.
You're not sure
forward,
what he's going to
like-
do.
So, there's a lot to work on. But again, as bad as we were, it
the
wasn't that bad. Like, in years gone by, we lose that game by 40 points or 30 points.
And let's be real with ourselves, guys. Did we really think if we meet New Zealand again in the final, we're going to beat them twice in the same
Yes.
tournament?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I think,
So if
if
you had to choose a
anything,
game to lose against them, this was it.
Yes.
probably.
Because the chances of us beating them twice is highly unlikely. And the same as them beating us twice. Like, if we play them again and we get just, dude, all we want is parity in the fucking penalty count here. Like, we're not asking for leniency on our side or their side. Just blow up foul play.
We know Nigel Owens will get the final.
Just blow up foul play. It's really that simple. There were incidents in that game where, I mean, they got penalties where we were 5 meters out on the line. Ardy made that one steal, and then there were a few where they were clearly holding on
Just
for
like-
multiple seconds, and you just not blowing penalties. Like, what are you blowing,
And
mate?
perception of even just like knock-ons and stuff.
Oh,
Dude,
let's
like,
not even
how was
go
it like
there, dude.
the start, at the end of the first half, there was that knock-on 5 meters out from their line.
Peter Steph.
That was backwards,
It was
clearly
clearly
backwards.
backwards.
Plus, then, like, straight after halftime, the exact same thing happens, but a New Zealand player on their line, and he gave it
Yeah.
as
it's
it was
like,
backwards.
I think that
And I
would
was
be
like,
your consistency.
and it was a clear knock on from the New Zealand guy. Like,
it was
Well,
clear
knock
knock-on.
off.
No, well, he didn't give the
it is
knock-on.
just, it baffles the mind that what these guys are seeing out there. There are 3 of them. There's 4 of them. There's a TMO who can call up that foul play on Peter
That's
Steph.
also the thing.
Or-
Is the TMO wasn't very.
Plus, like,
vocal.
around the neck and everything. That's yellow card. You
Oh,
off,
you're
man.
not seeing that potential head, like off the ball as well.
Because that's what I thought. I thought like every tackle made above collarbone was gonna be
Apparently.
blown.
Apparently so.
In other games, it has been.
Not, I mean, the refs have just been really bad. We called it. All the refs fucking suck.
We did call
And
it.
we
But
called it before this game that one of the teams were not going to be happy about the ref. And the chances are it wasn't going to be us because we already have a shocking record under Jerome Garces. So
So that's.
I wouldn't be surprised to see us get him in a quarterfinal if we play Ireland. I'm not even joking. I'm calling it now. We are getting either Roman Pot or we're getting Jerome Garces in that quarterfinal versus Ireland. And we fucking lose. Guaranteed.
Okay,
This
well, I don't
weekend
say-
we're playing
I
Namibia. We've
wouldn't
got
say.
another French ref. Like,
Well,
I
We'll
don't.
see.
I just don't get it. Like,
we know at the World Cup though there is generally there's a feel into the World Cup. I think
these results have
We
showed
might just-
pools though, which is the
Yeah, okay,
disappointing
Yeah.
part.
So I'm looking at the pool standings as it is, and I obviously know it's not a clean sheet because they're
Not a reflection at
shouldn't
all. We
of
shouldn't even
what's
go
going on.
through the pools right now. Let's go through some of the results from the other pools.
Okay.
So, the Argentina so we started off obviously with the Russia versus Japan, which is what was the score? 30-10.
30-10.
Oh, Russia came out and played really well, actually.
Russia played well in both of their games so far.
Japan just looked
10
really
points.
shit, I thought, actually. They
Japan.
were under a lot of pressure.
The only reason the scoreline favors them so much is because they're just not as fit as Japan. If you watch the game, everybody could see that. Like,
Yeah, like
that was
Russia
the only-
actually has a scrum.
Yeah.
Then the Saturday morning game, the Australia-Fiji was a great watch.
Yeah.
39-21.
I mean, Fiji were ahead going into
Well,
like the
they gave
45th
them a
minute.
run for their money.
They were like 12 points up, and then Australia
It's just that yellow card.
just turned on the heat, like just kept it tight. Total Latu with a double.
Once it was 14, man.
Started mauling it, just keeping it tight, do the basics. But again, that decision, the Reese because now he's been banned for 3 weeks. How are you missing that, man? Like,
Like, on the
honestly,
field.
firstly, that the number 7 who was playing for Fiji had one of the most epic games I've ever seen. He was only on the field for like half an hour, but he did everything. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that much in one half an
Little
hour of a game.
stint.
Ever. Like, that dude is a beast. And he was taken off after the RG.
After the Hodge. And how do you not see that as well?
It's clear as day. And that's clearly a recordable offence. Fiji probably win that game. It's a massive turn up for the books. It shapes that whole pool. The Argentina-France game, we briefly touched on it again. That was the decider who goes through in that pool. Completely screwed up by Angus Gardner, who is a fucking wanker because he has no control over anything. New Zealand, South Africa,
Okay, we've had that discussion.
23-13.
Yeah.
We move on from this.
Italy, Namibia was also actually a pretty good watch.
Yeah,
fair,
I actually missed that
47-22.
one.
Okay, as well.
It was tight as well at the start of the game. Italy just pulled away towards the end.
Yeah, as
The
expected. Because
lower tier nations are looking a lot better than expected.
Yeah,
I was
they're putting
expecting
more
much
points on
higher
board than expected.
scores.
They say it's the first time that there hasn't been a 50 points
difference.
annihilation.
It was just a 50 points being put on in the first round of the World Cup ever.
Oh yeah, there literally wasn't even one game.
I mean, that's
And then
obviously shows
you had
how
Ireland,
close it
Scotland.
is. Ireland, Scotland did not
Ireland
see that
looked
coming.
so clinical.
But
Yeah.
Scotland, were
Scotland,
just shit.
Scotland
man.
have been shit though.
They have been shit.
I've been.
and they already
I've seen
faced
the
it.
Six
So,
Nations results in the last couple
And
of
then no
months.
surprise with England, Tonga.
Look, that game. There was a lot more to that game than it seems. I can tell you that
Yeah.
much. England
Tonga played
were
really well.
shit. Like we will. New Zealand are going to destroy them. I can
it's
tell you
still
that
early.
much.
I think these teams are also building
They are,
their
but
way up.
England looked so one-dimensional against Tonga, guys.
Yeah, but they don't need to be anything more than that.
They
Right?
got lucky to actually get that bonus point at the end anyway.
They didn't even need it, to be honest. Let's be honest here. They
Look, France and
They'll be happy with
Argentina are tough opponents. They could both beat you on their day. So
They could.
they still might not even, like, you never know.
you never know.
And then Wales, Georgia. Wales putting that in the bag. I'm quite stoked about that.
43-14, solid. I mean, all the big boys got on the score sheet. George North, Williams, Tiperic. Yeah, just
Yeah.
solid as expected. I thought it was a bigger scoreline, to be honest. I thought it might be a bit closer because Georgia
Georgia are
usually come with a
generally
solid pack. I
decent,
mean,
yeah.
they do have a solid pack and they're known for their scrummaging. So I thought maybe there'd be maybe 15, 20 points in it. But yeah.
No, those are
Seems like
decent,
Wales did.
decent point difference there. And
Then another controversial game, Samoa versus Russia. 34-9. 2 yellow cards to Samoa in the game, which have both been cited.
Both could have been reds.
Both could have been
There was
reds.
another one that could have been a yellow that apparently.
Both could
I saw.
easily have been reds. Which, again, what the fuck is going on
Just
with these
why are
refs?
you not giving that?
Both of them went after the TMO as well. Like, it defies belief how they're getting it the wrong way.
Before
Like,
the World Cup, they
they-
were talking about this specifically.
Exactly.
And now, once it comes in, like in the moment, they're deciding to be lenient for some reason. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it is just it's. But World Rugby, we know there is no logic when it comes to World Rugby.
And
I mean, Russia put on a good showing though. They were in that
Yes,
game for most of the
again,
game.
For the first half, I mean, they led for a long.
It was
long
6-5
time in that
for
first half.
Oh wow,
so
yeah.
so this-
And even then, like it went to
Those,
10-9.
those
Like,
yellow cards are red cards, which one of them will definitely be
Definitely
the
should have
Matu one will definitely will be cited, and they both were cited. But the one will definitely be at least a 3-week ban
Yeah.
if Research got a 3-week ban for that, which I thought at the time,
Was
okay,
a bit harsh.
no arms was a little bit high. I've seen worse, dude. I think the Kieran Reid clothesline is worse,
100%,
dude, because
yeah.
it's completely off the ball. Like, you're not even seeing this guy coming, you know?
and not even considered as well,
Yeah,
which is
so-
ridiculous.
And then there was the steamy performance from Uruguay.
Yes, so this
against
morning's
Fiji
biggie.
This morning.
Uruguay.
sneaking it against Fiji.
That was some performance. I don't think anybody could have called that.
Nobody saw
And I
that.
mean, all things considered, rather close in the points. I mean,
Yeah, 30-27. Fiji had all the ball, all the territory. I mean, they made double the amount of running meters.
which means that Uruguay just made a
Uruguay
count
almost
and they
missed 50
Actually, they
tackles in the game,
They
man.
made nearly 3 times the amount of running meters. So Fiji made 746 meters carried, and Uruguay had 288.
So basically, every moment.
But
ridiculous.
Fiji, the kicker was Matavesi.
It's like with Samoa though,
What-
like their kickers
What are you
also
guys
super
doing? Like, I just don't understand. You're a tier 2 nation. That is something you can work on, man. Like, the least you can do is be a good goal kicker, or like have a good goal
At
kicker.
least be okay.
Be an
Get more than get like 60%, 70%.
That's something you can control. That is a complete controllable. For you to be missing from straight in front, like on the regular, like, I think he missed like 5 or 6 kicks, dude. I just don't know. And some of them were like absolute sitters. Like,
I mean, there were some interesting stats in that game though. Like Fiji didn't have 1 turnover in the whole game. There was only 1 turnover won, and that was by Uruguay.
Yeah.
I mean, they
The
won
ref was-
5 out of 5 mauls in the game as well.
again, the
Uruguay.
ref was all over the place. Nobody knows what's happening at the breakdown. Like, you just allow anything at the breakdown nowadays. Another French ref.
So at this rate, then I should just go apply for a
Why
job
do
as
we
a-
have so many French refs at this World Cup?
Doesn't make
because
sense.
They all have no
Why are
understanding
they
of the
rated
breakdown.
so highly?
What I don't understand is the first rule of the
Oh, just
breakdown
because
is that you have to be the first man there to compete for the ball. But it's
In our
allowed,
game.
yes, Adi,
That's all.
when
Just like coming in, plus like in the side,
clearly,
everything, just like
clearly when
Clearly we've got two
there
different
is a
versions of
South,
the game.
let's say there was a South African man over the ball well before Adi Sevilla gets there. Adi Sevilla goes for the ball. The ref says it's fine. He just
Made
allows him
no
to play
sense.
it. The same in this game.
what's going through your mind as a referee? You're professional.
It's
man.
the first rule of the breakdown. The first guy has his rights to the ball, but you're just allowing
Fuck.
in the second man to come in and play the ball. Like, it's not rocket science.
So as much as
You're
we-
standing right there. You're a meter away, man.
As much as we berate players for getting the fundamentals wrong, I think there's
Players are going to push the boundaries
there's
as well, you know?
Now we
as
know,
much as
especially
they allow.
right now.
if players are going to push the boundaries, then you need the mediator of the referee in there to make sure that it doesn't happen. And if he can't be the one to make sure that the rules are upheld, then we're wasting our fucking time here.
Like I said, let's go back to, and I am okay with this, even though I hate stop-start, and we all do. We all want to see
You'd
the
rather
ball
have a
in
whistle
play.
going all the time.
I would rather want to see the ref lay down the law in the first 20 minutes. Blow up every infringement, even if it's the smallest thing. Because you are setting a marker. If you are leaving everything in the first 20 minutes, players have no idea where the line
you
is. So
set
they
a
are going to
precedent.
keep pushing it because nobody knows. I would like to see that come into play, especially in the big games. Nobody really gives a fuck about Fiji Uruguay because it's not going to have an effect on the ultimate winner of this tournament. But in these games where it's Argentina versus France, it's a potential pool decider. Like, you have got to get decisions right. It's not acceptable that teams are losing and getting knocked out because of poor officiating. The most basic laws of the game.
So, in happiness and sunshine.
Yeah, let's
Um,
move on from this
Yeah.
refereeing.
So games coming up. Italy, Canada.
I think Italy with a little
Yeah, I
10
think they'll
to
put
20 point win there.
England, USA. I think England will take
England
that
are
by
gonna-
25.
comfortably.
Yeah, 25 plus.
Well, I'm expecting a
Ex-South
better
Africa.
showing than against Tonga. for
yeah, they
England.
can't be any worse, but they're going to play. They've already announced their team and they've basically made
It's
10 changes, I think.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I saw.
it's a whole new squad coming in. So
And I think Masal Brachi is featured in that USA team if he's been selected for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he is in
I know
there
he's in
somewhere.
the squad. And then Argentina, Tonga.
That I'm expecting a blowout.
Yeah.
I'm expecting
Yes.
Argentina to come out firing.
Mm.
They're gonna wanna put some points on the board.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, I think they'll get a bonus point, but you also don't want to get injuries. And against the Tongans, you know, like it was quite physical. Like England, I thought they were gonna have a few injuries after that game as well because there were massive hits going
Yeah.
in.
But
See,
Tonga is physical.
Yeah,
I mean,
all of the
one of-
Islander teams are
all of
physical.
them.
Where I see the difference between Argentina and maybe other teams at this World Cup is that their second team, because they will also make a host of changes, but their second team has been playing with the Jaguares for now the last
just
3
as
years.
good.
So, or not they don't need to gel or so.
They
Like
match
if you take the England USA, like it will take some time for those players to gel together because they don't play often together. Whereas Argentina, all of those players have played together for years
Well,
now.
they're just one
So
homogeneous
there
mass,
would
to
be
fair.
quite a smooth transition, which is why I can see that being quite a
Japan,
A
Ireland.
blowout.
a little bit of a blowout.
I think Ireland might destroy Japan
Here's a big-
by 40.
This is a big
By
game.
40.
It really.
I'm
No, I'd
I'm
say
gonna
it's
say by at
convinced, eh?
least 30 because
I'm almost thinking
I see
we might see an
Ireland-
upset here.
Yeah, I see.
I've got a
Guys.
feeling, mate.
look,
The host nation.
we've
No, I see Ireland taking
we
by
all
117.
watched the first game and Japan are nothing to write home about.
They suck.
They no, but even leading up to this World Cup in their warm-up games, I haven't seen anything. The team looks way worse than it was at the last World
Although,
Cup.
I'm not
if
convinced.
you look
eh?
at
I do
Ireland's
think
next
that
game up against Russia, I read that Ireland's
They
probably
obviously
going to
gonna-
play a fuller strength
Yeah,
they're
team
going to
now
take this
against
game
Japan.
seriously, yeah.
Of course.
Because it's the only game that they could
Then-
potentially
They could.
lose.
Important
Or
for
at least,
us
like, will
to
be
get some
competitive
serious
now.
points on the board and to get bonus points because we need them. We'll be up against Namibia.
Yeah, shall
don't
we
know.
go through the starting lineup?
Yeah, I also don't know if we want to slaughter our neighbours.
We have to. Let's put 60 past them. The
But
bookies
for the
have it
sake-
at 58, so I don't think it will be that high.
For the sake of getting
It
what
might
we
be worth going an
need.
under there.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Teams for this
But yeah,
weekend.
So, yeah, there have been quite
The
a few
team-
changes.
I mean, yeah, like Colby's got a rest. Lucanio, and Damien, who actually had a stormer the other day. I don't think we mentioned that.
He didn't have the worst
I mean,
game.
he
think it
had
was
one of
his
his
best.
better games. Herschel with the start. I mean, Skalk Brett starting at 8.
Yeah, we called it before the World Cup that, and he's captain, so he's probably gonna keep his 100% captaincy record unless something fucking
Definitely.
crazy
And-
happens this weekend.
And Kwacha.
Quacha, I'm
the
excited.
start.
They basically made wholesale changes. All the players who didn't start in the first game are starting now. So I'm excited to see RG and Lloyd because that is a fucking powerful combination. Itzebeth had an absolute stormer the other game. They mastered also. I mean, he was quite solid. He stole a couple of lineouts. He was
I'm interested to
involved.
see this Luet RG combination at work, though. They're just
Could
going
be
to
a
storm through there.
Could be our strongest combination. Now that Trevor is injured, they brought in Thomas Dutoy who comes in on the bench.
Which-
Excited to see
yeah.
Vincent Koch as
Vincent
well.
Koch.
Because
I know.
he should be starting ahead of Malherbe as well. For fuck's
this-
sake.
To be fair,
This could be the
Malherbe
chance of
wasn't
this.
as bad as we thought he was going
We
to be.
knew what he was going to do. He's never going to be a dominant
He was-
damager.
He was decent, though. He didn't get dominated,
but
at least.
he never gets dominated, but he never gets true dominance.
Um,
Which you need, especially against the All Blacks.
He do.
Bongi is up in there and
Should
But I'm
do his
staying
thing.
at 12. I think
Yes.
that's also going to
Yes.
be exciting to watch.
Cebu? Yeah, Cebu. I'm more interested to see Warwick land.
Yeah.
Guys,
Maybe step up.
he can just step up. I would look. I know he's a youngster, but like,
What I'm thinking at this stage is if we want to do something
what?
and if we want to make that change, the village change, let's just put Colby at fullback. How solid was he under the eyeball? He took
was
every single eyeball.
so solid.
The smallest guy on the field.
But
never looked like dropping
to
a
be
ball.
honest, I've been thinking more like, let's start Colby and bring in Cebu because Mapimpi is going to get found out against the Northern Hemisphere teams. They're just going to eyeball us to the max, guys.
So, in
Yeah,
all
but-
fairness, I think this is Mapimpi's game to shine.
Yeah,
I mean,
It
I'm
is, but-
serious.
I'm
Just
expecting both of our wingers to
Yeah,
score a
this
double
is
at
where he
least.
needs to be
At
putting
least.
points on the board because I don't know off the back
He's
of
gonna
the All
score a
Black
hat-trick.
game if he's actually
Up for it.
yeah.
There are going to be lots of questions, but again, you can
And I love
you
the
can
average.
say he had a bad game, whatever, but there were so many players who had worse games. Like
Agreed.
Pollard, Faf, and Philly, who are the spine of our backline, were absolutely poor. They were
Well,
not good. So
they
you
were.
can look at Mapimpi, he's on the wing. In the end, you got to look at those guys because they
I
control.
mean, he was
the
up
way we
against
play.
Cebu Reese as well.
As well.
And
The
Cebu Reese
one,
is Cebu Reese.
obviously, just that one moment
Yeah.
that people are going to look at, but. New
And the
Zealand
eyeball
knew
as
what
well,
they were
though.
doing. He was okay. I mean, he
didn't-
was no worse
he was-
than Pollard, Faf. I mean, Pollard overly. So
Yeah, I guess.
if you're gonna use that as your,
But I also
you
think
know,
that this is a
barometer then.
this is a very nice situation for the Springboks just to like get the basics right, make sure that they put everyone through the
just
ringer.
score 100 points.
Yeah,
This
I
is a
mean,
team
I
that
think
should
this-
score at least 70 points on Saturday. This team is fucking powerful. If you look at it on paper, mine
We're
is
gonna
Schalk Brits,
dominate.
maybe.
No,
Yeah,
but I
Schalk
mean-
Brits, Peter Steph, that team could beat New Zealand.
Yeah. Actually, that's
It
not
is
bad call.
solid, and maybe Alton take him out. But yeah,
you never
Pollard
know.
wasn't great, so these guys have a chance now. Herschel Yankees, put up your hands, son.
I think he's just gonna do the basics, bro. He is
I'm
so
expecting
good at
him
doing
to,
that.
to get a couple of guys as well.
So, I think
So
all
what
in
are our
all-
predictions here? What do we want to see? out of this
I
game.
think South Africa takes us by 47.
I just want to see a professional performance. It doesn't really matter for me the scoreline. I think we'll win comfortably regardless.
I
just
do, because I want the
no
bonus
injuries.
points.
We'll get the bonus points.
Just no injuries.
No injuries. That's all. That's all we need.
I'm not worried about
Yeah, I'm gonna go
anything
again.
else.
Yeah, box by.
I mean,
50.
potentially, I'd like to see Warwick Galant look good. I want him to
If
just
he
test
doesn't
him.
look good, what does that say?
No, but I just want them to
Playing
test
fucking
him
Namibia,
under the eyeball the whole time. Basically, that would be great. Potentially,
Still not
I
the
hope they
same.
actually aim for my Pimpy so he can get some confidence up.
But I also hope that Frans Steyn controls that pack line. And he almost becomes the pendulum.
Frans Steyn and Lukanya,
He's solid.
I'm excited to see that combination because
Yeah. Because Frans Steyn is going to be very much be the fulcrum in
because Lindy he was good, but
he did
he has no fucking skills. He can't offload. He can't break a line. He just doesn't have
I mean,
X
he gets
factor, which
good
Frans
go forward.
he does, but Frans Steyn can do the
He had a
same.
decent game this last weekend.
He did, but those 1%ers.
It's one-dimensional.
Yes,
He's a
those
bit one-dimensional
1%ers
at
where
times.
Damien de Linde breaks a tackle. He can't get that offload
Frans
off.
Steyn sees things differently to Damien.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
Let's
so
say- let's put it
that I'm looking forward to more than anything.
okay, cool. Happy.
Yeah, I think Box
But yeah.
should win comfortably, and yeah,
Agreed.
let's get some 5 points on the board because as it stands we've got 0. We can't afford to drop any more games.
So, guys, if you got any feedback on this past round, please do let us know. Also,
let's-
give us your feelings for the round coming up. We would really like some feedback. You know, at the end of the day, this is the World Cup. It only happens once every 4 years, so now's our time to shine. But yeah, feedback would be really awesome.
Let's see some decent refereeing going forward because this can't continue.
No.
If it does, I'm
course.
fucking done with rugby because
It can't
it is killing my
continue,
love
but
for the fucking game at this point.
I'm interested to see where it goes from here. It
Yeah.
can only get better.
Better. I
Let's put
agree.
it that.
Let's hope
But
so.
I 100%
The
agree.
Reese sighting and thing is going to set the precedent for this tournament, which could have a massive impact.
And there
going
might
forward.
just be a few more reds. We might see a
Yeah,
few
I
more
think we
reds
might see a
going
lot
forward.
more days
Reds.
just because of this fuck show in the first round.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway.
let's leave it
onwards
at
and-
that.
Onwards and upwards.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.